The speeding motorcycle took the sharp corner so fast in the darkness that both policemen in the pursuing car shouted, "Whoa!" Sergeant Fisher slammed his large foot on the brake.
Oh, I'm stuck on my chair.
Something that the boy... Thinking that the boy who was riding... Pillion? was sure to be...
It looks like flap or flup. Flup under his wheels.
However, the motorbike made the turn without unseating either of its riders. And with a wink of its red tail lights vanished up the narrow side street. "We've got him now," cried P.C. Anderson excitedly.
P.C. Anderson.
That's a dead end. I was reading the line.
Oh. I'm sorry. Is P.C. Anderson the cop?
I guess. Leaning hard on the steering wheel and crashing his gears. Crashing his gears?
Yeah,
Is
he's
that
driving
an
a stick
expression?
shift. He grinded it.
Grinding. Gotcha. Alright. Fisher scraped way the point off. The flank of the car as he forced it up the alleyway in pursuit. There, in the headlights, sat their quarry. Stationary, at last.
Jake Niffler's talking to you.
I don't know if my microphone is recording when it's on mute. Do you think it is?
Probably.
Okay. Where was I?
I don't know.
Alleyway in pursuit. There, in the headlights, sat their quarry. Stationary at last, after a quarter of an hour's chase. The two riders were trapped between a towering brick wall and the police car, which was now crawling towards them like some growling, luminous-eyed predator. There was so little space between the car doors that the walls of the alley that Fisher and Anderson...
And the walls of the alley.
That Fisher and Anderson had difficulty extricating themselves from the vehicle. If injured, their dignity...
She's using big words. It's like, just say they couldn't get out of the car.
It's JK Rowling. It injured their dignity to have to inch crab-like.
It hurt their feelings.
Towards the miscreants. Miscreants, come on. That's a good
JDs. Juvenile delinquents.
Fisher dragged his generous belly along the wall.
Fat boy.
Tearing buttons off his shirt as he went. And finally snapping off the mirror.
Wing mirror, I think.
Wing mirror with his backside. "Get off the bike!" he bellowed at the smirking youths. She sat basking in the flashing blue light as though enjoying it. Who sat? The youths who sat basking in the flashing blue light as though enjoying it. They did as they were told, finally. Pulling free from the broken wing mirror, Fisher glared at them. They seemed to be in their late teens. The one who had been driving had long black hair. His insolent good looks reminded Fisher unpleasantly of his daughter's guitar-playing layabout boyfriend. The second boy also had black hair, though his was short and stuck up in all directions. He wore glasses and had a broad grin. Both were dressed in t-shirts, emblazoned with a large golden bird, the emblem, no doubt, of some deafening, tuneless rock band. "No helmets?" Fisher yelled, pointing from one uncovered head to the other. exceeding the speed limit by
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
by a considerable amount. In fact, the speed registered had been greater than Fisher was prepared to accept that any motorcycle could travel. Failures to stop for the police. The cart is flipping. Very slowly as I need more RAM. We'd have loved to stop for a chat, said the boy in the glasses. Only we were trying. Don't get smart. You two are in a heap of trouble, snarled Anderson. Names? Names? Repeated the long-haired driver. Well, let's see. There's Wilberforce. Bethesda, Elvendork. And what's nice about one is you can use it for a boy or a girl, said the boy in glasses. Oh, our names, did you mean? Asked the first, as Anderson sputtered with rage. You should have said, this here is James Potter, and I'm Sirius Black. Things'll be seriously black for you in a minute, you cheeky little...
Monkey!
But neither James nor Sirius was paying attention. They were suddenly as alert as gun dogs, staring past Fisher and Anderson over the roof of the police car at the dark mouth of the alley.
Then with identical
fluid movements, they reached into their back pockets. For the space of a heartbeat, both policemen imagined guns gleaming at them, but a second later saw that the motorcyclists had drawn nothing more than drumsticks? Jeered Anderson. Right pair of jokers, aren't you? Right, we're arresting you on a charge of... But Anderson never got to name the charge. James and Sirius had shouted something incomprehensible, and the beams from the headlights had moved. The policemen wheeled around, then staggered backwards. 3 men were actually flying up the alley on broomsticks, and at the same moment the police car was rearing up on its back wheels. She does this thing with her W and H. It looks like an S and an H. Fisher's knees buckled. He sat down hard. Anderson tripped over Fisher's legs and fell on top of him. As flump bone crunch, they heard the men on brooms slam into the appended car and fall, apparently insensible, to the ground, while broken bits of broomstick clattered down around them. The motorbike had roared into life again. His mouth hanging open, Fisher mustered the strength to look back at the 2 teenagers. Thanks very much, called Sirius over the throb of the engine. We owe you one. Yeah, nice meeting you, said James. And don't forget, Elvendork. It's unisex. There was an earth-shaking crash, and Fisher and Anderson threw their arms around each other in fright. Their car had just fallen back to the ground. Now it was the motorcycle's turn to rear. Before the policeman's disbelieving eyes, it took off into the air. James and Sirius zoomed away into the night sky.
Their tail lights.
Their tail lights
behind them, like a vanishing ruby.
From the prequel I am not working on, but that was fun. JK Rowling, 2008.
Yay!
As read by Liz Clements.